where I was diagnosed with cancer, and my husband had the triple bypass, and a lot of other things happened. I started hearing the voice again, and it felt great. So I wanted to share the voice with you. However, after listening to Rabbi Mark, I don't think it's necessary to tell you, and in a few minutes, when we do the Kippur prayer, that we become even a more intimate family than we are. And I was going to tell you how important it is not just to remember, but to give tzedakah. Because that's part of our halacha, that's part of our laws in Judaism. That when we remember, we donate. We remember someone's soul, and we donate in their memory. But I don't really want to talk about that. I want to talk about the fact that perseverance, being a rabbi is not an easy job. They say the hardest thing is being a dentist. I'm not quite sure, but being a rabbi, when you choose to speak about something, God gives you the greatest challenges on that particular subject. So if you would permit me for just a moment, I'm a mother, but I'm more than a mother. 30 years ago, this community was founded because we wanted to express joy in Judaism, and we wanted to have equality between men and women in religion. And I think we've done that. Perseverance and the global tragedy. I would not probably be standing here today if it wasn't for community. And I think a lot of people here feel the same way. Can you raise your hands if you feel that way? Community has made us monumental beings. And when we talk about coming up with a potato, it's not the potato, and it's not the pride. It's the meaning in life. It's the fact that we were raised to have meaningful lives and to give. So I have to say that we listen to anecdotes about other people's lives, and each one of us here has a story. And we've lived through a lot of things. And especially if you're over 60, or you're touching 70, or maybe you're 80, and you live at the edge of life. You live at the edge of now, and we don't know what's next. But we know that we have community. And if I couldn't have called on people this year to help me personally, it would have been a more difficult year than I had. And so, Rabbi Mark, you persevered. I think you chose this subject, probably in the summer sometime or something. I don't know how rabbis do it.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And every time he's chosen something to speak about around it, he's been given the challenge of that subject. Well, my God, this year he was given it fully. The music director in the hospital. His mother, forget her. She's in another space healing herself. His father, not here right now. And you persevered. Did you ever hear a voice like this out of him before?
I truly didn't do it alone. It was many volunteers. The choir, let's hear it for the choir. And our musicians, and our volunteers.
But it takes a center to the spokes. And the center of a wheel always has to spin faster so the spokes can get around fully. And you have been spinning and spinning and spinning. And you stand up here and you give us not just your neshama, but you give us a portal for our souls to be elevated. And I thank you. And I thank this community. "30 years ago, when we wrote a charter, we made sure that it was not going to become a political community. I don't know who you're voting for. We're not getting there. But I mean, within our own community, there was not going to be politics. And we have lived what we believe. And it takes courage to live what you believe. And so I'm going to ask you to please continue believing in this community and in yourself as part of the community. You saw how many volunteers came up here yesterday. There's nothing greater than volunteering to really get to know people, or to attend a class, or to come to services, or even if you don't come, to know that we're just here, you know? It took me the last, maybe, how long are you here? 12 years, 15 years? It took me that long to be able to be vulnerable, to say, I have a community and I'm going to ask them to help me. And so today, I ask you to help the community. And when we remember our loved ones, we become not only our community, but we become a portal for our ancestors to come in here today. And part of that obligation, yes, responsibility, the ability to respond, is to give. Yes, we have always given, and it's not potatoes. So I'm going to ask you again, are you ready to really make a commitment and raise your donation this year so that we can be here for each other, that we can support our staff to be here for us? And next year, and the year after, and the year after, and for the next generation. Life must go on. Our stamina must continue. Our love and kindness must be without end. And our energies need to loop back to each other. So I thank you for the generosity of what you will give right now, today. Thank you. Tell you, Rabbi Philip is doing fun. He's right here with us. He's right here with us on the computer. So we
So if you all shift over to this side of the building, you can all say,
if you pass by the computer, say hi.